Dude, are you seriously gonna be jamming with that amplifier?
Why? What's wrong with it?
Dude, it's like really, really old.
This isn't old. This is vintage.
Dude, whatever, vintage. Just use like a Kemper or something, you know, something that doesn't have like cobwebs all over it.
Dude, Kempers are great, but this is an amplifier from like the 60s. It's just got a unique tone.
Yeah, right, whatever. Tone, cool. Dude, does that thing even run on electricity, or is there like a hamster inside turning a wheel?
Alright, fine. I'll turn it on, plug in, and you'll have your mind blown.
Yeah, sure, plug it in. Let's see. Dude, I just like totally had my mind blown.
How's it going, masses of gas? Today we're going to be looking at the Gibson Skylark, which is a full tube amplifier from roughly 1963-64. It's 5 watts, it's vintage, and it packs a punch. My name is Jack, and I still have a serious case of gas. For many years now, there has existed a continuous debate between what is considered a better amplifier. Modeling amplifiers like Kempers or Fractal, or if you're looking at digital amplifiers, for example, like the Boss Katana, or if you're actually looking for valve amplifiers, or even vintage amplifiers. And as you might have seen in that video I did on Hank's Guitar Store in London, more and more studios and artists are looking to get their hands on more vintage gear, because apparently it has a very unique tone that cannot be fully processed or emulated with a modeling amplifier. If this is true or not, it's just part of the large debate again. So anyway, my point is I got my hands on a Gibson Skylark, and it's from the early 60s. This is back in the day when Gibson was actually still making amplifiers. And this was considered sort of like the working man's amplifier. It was very simplistic. It was literally it is an on-off knob and volume. And if you have it set quite low down, 3 or 4, it's pretty clean. And if you crank it all the way up, it's got a real driven tone. And I've seen things like in the making of albums, like from Queens of the Stone Age, for example, hence the Rated R t-shirt. They they use a lot of vintage gear, and that's exactly what I've tried to do now, and I'm trying to emulate, or I'm trying to get some of those Queens of the Stone Age tones out of it, as you'll be able to hear now. Gibson Skylark. I am also using the Deaf PBF-2. And it does not have anything to do with Adobe or any types of data files. This is literally just a, it's like a fuzz pedal, or a very fuzzy distortion. And people have said this is pretty much Queens of the Stone Age in a box. And I think from the sounds that you can get out of this, it's probably very accurate. And combined with a vintage tube amplifier, I think it is a very unique tone. So all in all, this is sort of a combination of a sound like Queens of the Stone Age and also having a look at vintage amplifiers. This one did not cost too much. I got it off of Reverb for about $400 to $500. I don't have the price at the top of my head, but one thing that you definitely have to take into account is it's American made from the 60s. And this is long before the time where you would have dual voltage built into electric machines, electrical devices. So nowadays you always have like a switch on the back. You can switch from 110 to 220 or 240. That's not the case with this thing. So you actually need a transformer, which converts if you're in Europe now, of course, which converts 220 voltage down to 110. If you don't do that, you're either going to blow the fuse or you might even really damage the amplifier, so keep that in mind. Otherwise, my gas leak of the week is to try out the PBF-2. It's a very interesting pedal. If you're going for a Queens of the Stone Age sound, this is it. This is it right here. And otherwise, you can get others. It's got a whole bunch of controls on it, so you don't have to sound like them if you don't want to, but it's a really cool pedal in any case. So anyway, I hope you found this useful. I hope you found it interesting. If you did, please like and subscribe to the channel. It seems to slowly be gaining pace, so which I'm very happy about. And otherwise, my name is Jack, and I still have a serious case of gas, as one can tell, and it's